Imagine waking up tomorrow to the news that the entire global financial landscape has shifted overnight, that a single event in a distant country has just unlocked a tidal wave of wealth for a small group of people who saw it coming. What if I told you that this event is not a random occurrence, but a meticulously planned maneuver by a central bank, and that the final, critical piece of the puzzle may have just clicked into place, setting a countdown in motion that could change your financial future forever? This is not a drill, and this is not mere speculation. This is the breaking news coming from the Central Bank of Iraq, and if the reports from within the dinar community are accurate, we are standing at the precipice of a historic monetary reset. Frank 26, a prominent voice following the Iraqi dinar, has just dropped what is being called one of the biggest confirmations of the year. The Central Bank of Iraq has officially secured the iOS 301 certification. Now, for those of you who are new to this, your immediate question is, what in the world is iOS 301, and why does its mere mention have the entire dinar community on the edge of their seats? This is where we connect the dots between a seemingly obscure technical term and your potential for generational wealth. The iOS 301 certification is understood to be a critical international compliance standard, a benchmark of the highest order that deals with banking security, digital infrastructure, and the robust protocols necessary for a currency to integrate seamlessly into the global digital economy. It's not just a piece of paper, it's a signal. It's a declaration to the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, and to foreign investors that Iraq's financial house is now in order, that its systems are secure, transparent, and ready to handle the immense pressure of a revalued currency operating on the world stage. Think of it as the final safety inspection before a new, high-performance supercar is allowed on the public highway. Without this certification, the car might be powerful, but it's a danger to itself and everyone else. With it, the green light is given. This certification is that green light for the Iraqi dinar. It confirms that the technological and security backbone needed to support a new, significantly higher exchange rate is now officially active and operational. But let's go deeper, because the timing of this isn't random. This isn't happening in a vacuum. The Central Bank of Iraq has been on a relentless, multi-year campaign to modernize its financial sector, and we have the official data to prove it. According to a recent International Monetary Fund report, Iraq has made significant strides in its financial sector reforms, focusing on enhancing governance and strengthening the banking system's resilience. The IMF specifically noted progress in modernizing the national payment system and promoting financial inclusion. These are not just fancy buzzwords. These are the concrete foundations being laid brick by brick for the new, strong dinar. They are creating a system where a revalued currency can actually function, where digital transactions are safe, where international transfers are smooth, and where the trust that has been absent for decades is finally being restored. This iOS 301 achievement is the capstone of all that effort. It's the culmination of years of work, and it directly addresses the biggest objection that skeptics have always thrown at the dinar investment. The system can't handle a revaluation. Well, as of this certification, that argument may have just become obsolete. The system is now officially certified to handle it. This certification is the lock, and the time for the exchange rate shift is the key that is now being turned. This is the moment we've been waiting for, the transition from theoretical planning to executable reality. The countdown clock isn't just a metaphor anymore. It's a reflection of a completed checklist, and the final, most important item has just been checked off. So, with this certification confirmed, the monumental question that now dominates every conversation is, what happens next? If the iOS 301 is the lock, what is the actual mechanism that will trigger the release of the new exchange rate? And more importantly, how can we be sure this isn't just another false dawn in a long history of anticipation? To understand the inevitability of what's coming, we need to look at the brutal economic realities that Iraq can no longer afford to ignore, and the powerful global forces that are now aligning to enforce this change. The current official exchange rate, 1,320 Iraqi dinars to $1, is a relic of a bygone era, an artificial peg established in the aftermath of war and sanctions to provide stability. But that stability has long since transformed into a straitjacket, crippling the nation's potential and creating a bizarre economic duality that is utterly unsustainable. Within Iraq, citizens use the dinar for their daily lives, but the country's vast oil wealth, its lifeblood, is traded in US dollars. This creates a fundamental dependency and a constant, draining outflow of value. Every barrel of oil Iraq sells for dollars has to be converted back into dinars to fund the government's budget, a budget that pays for salaries, infrastructure, and services for millions of people. This system leaves Iraq's entire economy vulnerable to external pressure and internal corruption, a fact highlighted by recent, drastic measures from the government itself. Just months ago, the Central Bank of Iraq and the U.S. Federal Reserve implemented sweeping new restrictions on international dollar transfers, a move that, on the surface, was about combating money laundering and the illicit siphoning of dollars to Iran and Syria. But look deeper, and you'll see a more profound strategic objective: to force the Iraqi financial system to stand on its own 2 feet. These restrictions created immediate, painful liquidity crisis and a surge in the black market value of the dollar, starkly illustrating the absurdity of the official peg. Why is there a massive gap between the official rate and the street rate if the official rate is so strong? The answer is simple. The market is telling you the truth that the official peg refuses to admit. The dinar is fundamentally undervalued. This pressure is not an accident. It is a deliberate, calculated squeeze. It is the financial equivalent of forcing a child to let go of the training wheels. The United States, through the Federal Reserve and its relationship with the Central Bank of Iraq, is actively creating an environment where maintaining the status quo is more painful than embracing change. They are forcing Iraq to wean itself off its dollar dependency, and a key requirement for that is a strong, internationally recognized national currency that reflects the true value of the nation's assets. This is where the iOS 301 certification becomes the critical linchpin. It proves that Iraq is no longer a financial child, that it has built the secure, compliant, and technologically advanced systems required to manage a strong currency independently. It answers the final objection from the international community. Now, combine this with the sheer, undeniable economic power that Iraq holds. We are talking about a nation sitting on one of the largest proven oil reserves on the planet, with a rapidly growing population and a desperate need for reconstruction and development across every sector. A weak currency makes all of this impossibly expensive. It detracts foreign investment, as the value of that investment is instantly eroded by the poor exchange rate. It makes importing essential goods, from food to medicine to machinery, cripplingly costly. A revaluation is not a speculative fantasy. It is an economic necessity for national survival and prosperity. It is the only logical conclusion to a decade of reform, international pressure, and technological preparation. The stage is not just being set. The actors are in place, the script has been written, and the final technical rehearsal, confirmed by this certification, is now complete. The next scene is the main event. Therefore, the evidence is no longer a collection of scattered rumors, but a convergent path leading to a single, inescapable conclusion. The window of opportunity we have all been discussing for years is no longer a theoretical concept. It is now a tangible, open window. And the only question that remains is whether you will be one of the few positioned to step through it when the official announcement finally breaks across every major news network in the world. Imagine that moment, not as a distant dream, but as a real, impending headline flashing on your phone screen. What will you feel in that instant? Will it be the exhilarating triumph of having trusted your own research and having taken a calculated position at the absolute ground floor of one of the most significant monetary events in modern history? Or will it be the gut-wrenching regret of having hesitated, of having been so close to a life-altering opportunity only to let skepticism or inaction hold you back? This is the human emotion that separates the prepared from the bystanders. And the reality we must confront is that the financial landscape post-revaluation will be divided into two distinct groups: those who acted on the information and those who merely watched it happen. The narrative of the Iraqi dinar is no longer confined to niche forums and specialist chats. The foundational elements we have just detailed, the iOS 301 certification as the technical green light, the IMF documented financial reforms as the structural foundation, and the US-led dollar restrictions as the coercive economic pressure, are creating a powerful, mainstream viable story that will soon capture global attention. When that happens, the demand for dinars will not be a slow trickle. It will be a tsunami, and the current price of this currency will become a footnote in history, a story you will tell about the before times. But this is not just about buying a currency and waiting. It is about understanding the profound responsibility that comes with the potential wealth this event could unlock. This is about a legacy. Think for a moment about what a revaluation of this magnitude could truly mean for you and your family. It's not merely about paying off a mortgage or buying a new car. This is about fundamentally rewriting your family's future for generations. It's about creating a foundation of financial security so robust that it allows you to pursue passions without the constraint of a paycheck, to fund educational opportunities for your children and grandchildren that you never thought possible, to invest in businesses and ideas that can positively impact your community, and to build a legacy of abundance rather than a cycle of financial struggle. This is the real stakes of this moment. It is a transfer of wealth on a global scale, and the key to accessing it is knowledge followed by decisive action. The research has been done for you, the dots have been connected, and the path has been illuminated. The final and most critical step is yours and yours alone to take. Do not let the noise of the skeptics, who have consistently been on the wrong side of this history, cloud your judgment. They operate from a place of fear and a lack of deep information. You, however, are now operating from a position of strength and clarity. You have seen the blueprint. So, I am going to make this very simple and direct for you right now. If you have been waiting for a sign, for a final confirmation that this is real, consider this video to be that sign. This is your call to action. This is your moment to decide. I want you to pause this video, go down to the comment section right now, and type the words, "I am ready." Letting me know you are on board is the first step in solidifying your commitment to your own future. Then, immediately after this video ends, you need to take the most important action of all. Click the link in the pinned comment below this video or go to the description box. There, you will find a direct, secure link to the most trusted and reliable platform we have vetted for acquiring Iraqi dinar. They have a proven track record, secure shipping, and authentication. Do not wait, because in a situation this fluid, timing is everything. The lock has been confirmed, the timer is set, and the opportunity is live. Subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell, because we are going to be the first to break the news when it happens. And you do not want to be last in line. The future is not something that happens to you. It is something you create. Create yours today.